What is up, everybody? So a couple of things. As many of you probably know, Stranger Things season 4 came out recently. I've been watching that. It's pretty good so far. Also, I had to check Google real quick to check those kids' age. I mean, Jesus Christ. Especially Will. Yo, Will went from being this cute little kid with like a bowl cut to the next candidate for Captain America. Like, this dude absolutely ridiculous. His jawline is like a lightsaber. What are they feeding this kid? So anyway, welcome to my League of Legends video. I have a couple of new subscribers, and so maybe some of you have seen the video I just made saying we need to defame Crit Zeri. Well, you know what, man? You guys need to learn how to let things go, okay? The past is in the past. That was then, this is now, okay? Yes, I did think this champion gargled lava, but then, you know, a little thing called durability patch came out, and the truly stranger thing is that Zeri's actually better after the patch. I've definitely had trouble figuring out what ADCs are good, and in experimenting I decided to try Zeri again, and my updated verdict is she feels infinitely better on this patch than on the previous ones. Main reason being, obviously every champion in the game does less damage, so the fact that popping a pimple does more damage than Zeri feels a little less caca. Her strength is in kiting, and not getting one shot allows that strength to be a lot more pronounced. With that said, I think she actually has a couple of builds right now that can be played. Crit is still a thing. I would do the shield bow into Runan's and then IE, because Runan's second helps with the wave clear problem, but it does make it so you're weaker in the mid game in terms of outright damage output, but again, because of durability, technically every champion is weaker in the mid game. So again, my point in the last video about Crit Zeri was that at 3 items, your champion just flat out did less damage than every other champion in the game, and that was true. But with durability, it makes it so that at 3 items you deal decent enough damage, plus your ability to kite and run in circles in teamfights actually makes it so the champion is far more impactful than it was before. There's this one build I saw this high elo player take, and that's Bork into Sunderer and then Runan's third. Now I will admit I haven't had much time to mess around with that one, but it seems pretty strong in the mid game, and you get to take Sheen, which Zeri absolutely loves. So there's the builds, and the real reason I decided to make this follow-up video, the fact that they're going to be buffing Zeri's crit build by some stupid amount. I mean, it looks ridiculous. Riot must be hotboxing the Riot HQ again because they just nerfed the piss off this champion 2 weeks ago, but now they're going to break her again. And make no mistake, those buffs are going to be a problem because with the durability patch, a lot of enchanter and shielding supports have been played, and what is Zeri a counter to? Shielding and enchanter supports. So again, the new patch and the debuffs that are coming to, you know, buff her overall damage. I mean, her W now crits. Do you know how much marijuana you have to smoke to arrive to, oh yeah, let's make her W crit? Let us all pray for everyone at Riot Games right now. That California ganj just hit different. So they're going to be able to talk to the dead type shit. They don't even know what day it is right now. Just be aware this champion is going to be probably like permabanned come next patch if those buffs come through. But with the buffs, not only will you be doing outright just more damage in teamfights, but your ult actually stacks a lot faster with the crit build, and so you ramp up way faster. It seems they're really trying hard to push this, to push her to the crit variants, but it is worth mentioning that there is that other build that's not bad, but it just might be situational. Like if you're playing versus a lot of tanks, maybe it's worth it to go Bork and Sunderer, but I definitely need more time to mess around with that build, and I'll probably end up making another video when that patch gets released, going more in depth into Zeri as a whole post patch. And then we would really have come full circle where now I'm actually saying you should pick Crit Zeri. Admittedly, I put that video out at not the best time. I still agree with everything I said on there because it was true for when I made the video, but like I said, the timing was kind of unfortunate because I don't really think she's as bad right now. I still don't think she's better than other picks, mind you, but I mean technically her win rate actually went down after the patch, but you know. And you know what, that actually reminds me of one of the comments I got on my last video. It was some dude saying he has over 300 games played with Zeri, and he has a 65% win rate, and that is why Crit Zeri is good. So I just wanted to say this here real quick. Win rate by itself is such a dishonest stat. when used just by itself, when used as a flat number. It's why I didn't make a big deal that Zeri had one of the worst win rates in the game, or well, I did, but it was just to point out the irony in what Doublelift was saying, because it was so blatantly a sponsored video and he just made up some random BS to go along with it. But win rate by itself is pretty useless when trying to actually having conversation about the application of an item build. A champion can have a high win rate but a low pick rate, so again that makes the win rate a little dishonest. You often find that the most picked champions, that is champions with 20% pick rate or more, usually hover around 50% win rate. You could also have a high win rate, but maybe you're playing in a lower MMR, so again that win rate is dishonest. And if you're a challenger player, by default it means you're winning a lot of games by the simple fact that you're challenger. So your win rates are just going to be higher. And then you have one tricks that are picking one champion every single game, and yet they still make it to Masters and beyond with good win rates. Does that make the champion is good? No. The inverse of that is also true. A champion could have a low win rate in solo queue, but permaban in pro because the champion just provides more flexibility in pro play than solo queue, or it's just generally a harder champion to play so that only the pro players can use it to its full strength. So again, win rate is dishonest. But none of that has anything to do with the fact that Zeri can't wave clear. That's not debatable. That's not depending on skill tiers. That's not open for interpretation. It is simply true. The fact that at 3 items you simply did less damage than every other champion in that particular game was true. In a meta where you pick bursty champions and you want to do as much damage as possible, Zeri was just an outright awful pick. But in a meta where it's longer fights, where everyone in the game does less damage, Zeri can actually be useful because of her kiting potential. Even then, I still don't think she's better than other picks in the meta. I just wanted to say that she was better than before. And even better once they give her some of her power back in the next patch. Which is why I felt the need to make this video, just to make sure everyone understands what's going on here. Because there was a guy in the video's comment section telling me Crit Zeri was good because he took Stormrazor. Stormrazor. Just roll the outro, dog.